How are you too?
Very well, thank you.
A rainy Friday.
A rainy Friday. I'm wondering, this season is supposed to be a blessing for farmers, but
of course it is, definitely.
Well,
farmers are always happy when there is rain.
When there is rain, but I'm
just the excess side.
Excess, right? Because I'm just afraid that once we see it pouring this way, eventually it might lead to flooding.
But then our farmers are always ready because they know that during this time they have to do all that they need to do on the farms, drain the channels, and so that they can have a better yield this time around.
I'm just concerned. I'm only concerned about the dams being filled up to the brim, and then eventually causing flooding. Well, whatever the case is, I'm sure that Lagos State government is usually
on top of the game,
right, to ensure that Lagos residents are safe.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring our guest to the microphone this afternoon. We have Voice of the Farmer very much with us in the studio. Garuba Afeez Olumide is our guest. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ma. Good afternoon, everyone listening to us.
All right. It's good to have you in the studio. First off, I'm just wondering what this is all about, a Voice of the Farmer. What is this about?
Yes, as the name implies, we speak for farmers. We give the farmers the voices they deserve. You agree with me that farmers are the backbone of the food that we eat on our table, and to some extent their voices are not being heard, and that was where the platform comes in now. Like, how can we give voice to the people that are growing the food that we are eating?
When did you start this?
Yes, I started 6 years ago. Yes.
6 years?
Yes, wow. I started in Badagry then, yes.
Okay, so how's the journey been so far?
Yes, I would say it has not been rosy because when I started with just a phone then, just my Samsung phone. Then I said, okay, I want to start something and let me just work with people that are growing this food that we eat. I remember the first interview I did then was with Mr. Bamidele Adelakun. It was then he was a rabbit farmer, and I also acknowledge the fact that I started with Sedge Farm to Mr. Sejiro Ketojunum. He was a fish farmer, still a fish farmer now. Then those are the people that I started with. Then I was like, okay, let me just go around, tell their story, ask questions about what they do, because then even myself, I don't have knowledge about agriculture. Then I just like, okay, let me just start something, and I started then with my platform, using social media, Facebook, Instagram, and then keep moving. Nobody is supporting them. Nobody is sponsoring. Some people are even saying, this guy, are you sure you know what you are doing? But because I am passionate about it, and I know this is solving a problem, because it is a problem. These farmers are doing a lot, but nobody is speaking for them. That is it. So then that was how we started. Gradually, before we started, people started noticing us. Even Lagos State government noticed that, yes, this guy is doing something. That was how we started. But trust me, we are still on it. It is just not too easy like that, but at least we thank God that we are moving. Yes.
For every entrepreneur out there must be that story, there must be that thing that actually prompted them to want to start a business. So, Voice of a Farmer now, what was that thing for you that you saw and made you think, okay, I should leverage on this and start something?
Yes, I check around and I see that nobody is doing something around Agri-Media. Even people that are really doing it, yes, even people that are doing it are not really going to the grassroots level. And that is one of the strengths that we have as Voice of the Farmer. We'll go as far as going to the riverine area. You always see me on the boat, going across the water to go and showcase farmers that are across the water that people don't even know they exist. I remember that was a community called Daddy Louis in Badagry. Yes. They were mainly known for tomato. And trust me, they are one of the community that even bring us out, that people know that, yes, Voice of the Farmer is doing something. So we went to that community and showcase what they're doing, do a documentary around what they're doing, the challenges. And trust me, it just worked hand in hand. Lagos State government supported them. Then, it was just like, this guy, what you did for us really worked. So I saw that nobody is really doing something around that Agri-Media. Everybody is creating content, but when you want to talk about agriculture, talking about journalism, if you don't understand that agricultural space, you may not be able to do a lot of justice to it. So that was how we said, okay, this is a niche for us, and this is a gap. We can definitely fill this gap, and that was how we started.
All right.
Okay. So, can I?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Voice of the Farmer. Yeah. It's a household name that we know, especially in the Lagos State arena for the farmers. But then we know that we have commercial farmers, and then we also have the smallholder farmers. How have you been able to check the indices so far in terms of going to the hook and cranny, like you said, in the communities. How has the voice of the farmer been able to amplify those other farmers that are not yet in the public domain, in terms of bringing them to the front burner, and then for the government to support them?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. At some points, even if we don't know that there is a farmer in a particular community, so many people will reach out to me and say, Olumide, someone is doing something great here, and I know this is kind of person that you always would love to showcase. Come and do something with this person. So as far as we are concerned, we are definitely working with smallholder farmers anywhere you are in Lagos, anywhere you are in, let me say, Southwest. We have not covered the North. We work with farmers in Oyo, Ogun State, but in Lagos, anywhere we have farmers, we definitely go there to make sure that we amplify what they are doing, and that is what we are. It is even our CSR. We are not looking at making money from this at the moment now, so we just use it as, okay, let's see how we can let people know that these people are really doing a lot of things. I will still go back to Daddy Louis. Now, they have expanded to Toko Island now. So many people are now knowing that, yes, there is a community in Badagry that they are doing tomato. I remember when I was talking to them then, they said over 20 years that they have been doing tomato farming. Even the local government in that local government have not visited them before. But through our documentary, I know so many people have visited that community and they have gotten a lot of support, either from government or non-governmental organization.
So at this point, it is safe to say that voice of the farmers is actually a stakeholder in the agri space in Lagos. So talk to me about some of the challenges bedevailing the agri sector.
Yes, these challenges I want to mention is not just peculiar to Lagos, or let me say they are not just peculiar to Lagos alone. Let me say to farmers we have in the Southwest, even in the North as well too. I would say the first thing is climate change. Now, it is one of the challenges that our farmers are facing at the moment now, because it's not just Lagos. Everywhere you're talking about flooding the other time. Yes, it is part of it as well too. Climate change is just real, but some of our farmers are yet to understand that climate change is real. But that is why educating them and creating awareness about climate change is very important. Another thing is talking about access to market. Some of the farmers, when you ask them question that what is your problem, they will tell you we have where we want to sell our produce to. But when they have access to premium market to sell their produce to, because it is different from you selling your market to open market. All farmers are targeting open market, and that is why we always have glut at some point when we have sweet corn. All of them are in the market. You see the prices will come down. So access to market is also a problem to our farmers as well too. Another thing I want to talk about is mechanization as well too. Some of our farmers are still doing this traditional way of farming, and I want to say a very big thank you to Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority. I think last year they did something around supporting farmers with mechanization. They gave them power tiller, they gave them something. So mechanization is also a challenge for our farmers in Lagos State. And don't forget that Lagos is an urban city. There is no land, but notwithstanding, as we said, there is no land in Lagos, our farmers are still doing something in their own little way. So those are the challenges that they have, and I know Lagos State government is on top of that game to see how they can help our farmers to solve this problem.
Okay, so when you bring the farmers to the limelight and you get to know that this is what some of them are doing, how do you get a feedback in terms of their productivity? In terms of, that Louis find other people that you've actually amplified their voices, how has it been that they've been able to express themselves and then getting the feedback that, their production has been increased, people are looking for them, and there's business going back and forth?
That's we got feedback every now and then, and let me give an instance about a coconut processor in Badagry. The person is Mr. John Ansah. He don't even know about LSADA at all. He did not know about LSADA. I was when I talked to him about LSADA, and trust me, then that was when we have Mr. John Olakulenya as the GM then. And during the World Food Day that they did 2 years ago, it was supported with machine that is shredder that really gave a lot of. So we get feedback from farmers that we know. That was the time I got a call from a farmer and say, Olumide, please send me your account number. I was like, Kilo Shele. You want that? He said, just send the account number. And he sent something to me as a token. I said, someone said he got to know about my rabbit, that I want to sell my rabbit on your platform.
Okay.
So many testimonies from people, because that is what we just want to do, to make sure that we are amplifying these people and make sure that they are having access to so many things. So we are getting so many feedback from promoting our farmers and also telling their stories as well too.
Aside from telling their stories, you just mentioned something now that someone trying to sell on your platform. Are there other services you render aside telling the farmer's story?
Yes, I said telling the farmer story is like a CSR program for us. That is what we started doing. So other things that we do is we cover agric events. You always see us in any event that relates to agriculture in Lagos State. Okay. Lagos State government will always invite us because they know we have this access to the smallholder farmers, the farmers at the grassroots level. So anything we post on our platform or we tell people, they know this thing is coming from the direct source. So we do documentaries, we do even agrotourism as well too. I remember we took some farmers to Benin Republic because we felt that, okay, you need to also visit other farms to see what they are doing differently and see how you can also integrate that into your system as well. So we've taken farmers to Soilless Farm in Abeokuta. So those are some of the services we render: agrotourism, event coverage, and documentary. Everything we do is just about agriculture. That is it.
So the youth, each time we have a program, we always go back to the youth because they're actually the fulcrum of agric in the nearest future. How have you been able to amplify your voice to reach out to the youth and making agriculture as a career and not just as, fun?
Awesome. I said it at the beginning that I don't have any experience in agriculture when I started because I studied telecommunication science in school. Then I was like, I don't have any experience in agriculture. But when I started Voice of the Farmer, if I'm talking to people, they were like, did you go to school to study agriculture? Because during working with farmers, I've been able to learn a lot of things about agriculture. And I've also used that platform to let our youth see that agriculture is not what they think it is. The first thing when you hear agriculture then was like, that person must be dirty. That person must be an old person. That person must look very rough, very haggard. But now, trust me, our farmers, we have young farmers in Lagos State now. And I also acknowledge the fact that Lagos State government is doing a lot of things around bringing youth into the agric space. It is not just about production alone. That is where we need to let our youth know that you can be a farmer and you don't have a farm.
Having an agric value chain.
Yes, you can be a farmer and you don't have a farm. Like you can be in the value chain. That means you are adding value to a produce that the farmers have produced. I was talking about access to market, that if our farmers have premium market, they will not be saying they have challenge with market access now. So our youth can play a role in that. I've seen so many farmers that are doing something around agri-tech. Youth are the early adopter of technology. Yeah. So now our youth needs to see that agriculture is not just about production. I've seen Coconuto doing something about
craft.
Yes, waste to wealth, doing so many things. I have so many youth like that. So our youth need to see that agriculture is just beyond production. What you just have as a talent, as a knowledge, you can tilt it towards agriculture. In agriculture, we need medical personnel. In agriculture, we need engineering. In agriculture, we need communication. And that is where Voice of the Farmer is filling that gap about speaking for farmers. So youth need to see that agriculture is just beyond that production, because that is what is scaring us away, that I will now go to farm. And now mechanization is making it easy for us. Now tractor is just there for you to make use of anything. So youth need to just sit down and see which area. We have many entries in agriculture. You can just enter through any doors and you're going to succeed.
Apart from that, the Louis you mentioned, can you give us another fantastic success story that's actually amplified Voice of the Farmer?
Yes, in Nepe, we also have some stories that we told about some farmers in Nepe, and I want to also acknowledge LSADA again. Anytime we have anything about farmers and we want them to get support from government, we just have a listening PM that will always listen to you. What are these farmers doing? Give me their number. Let me visit them. They will even visit their community and say, what is the problem? I remember last time Commissioner visited Ekpe as well to see what they're doing in Ekpe. So we've been able to get so many farmers to be on the spotlight to government. At some point, Commissioner for Agriculture also said that there are some riverine area that some of the EA might have not been visited before, or something. That Voice of the Farmer will definitely go there and let them know that these people are doing something. Apart from that, Louis, we have so many farmers that we have supported physically, like using our physical appearance, or let me say offline process, and also our online process as well too. So we have so many of them like that we have supported.
All right, the media being a bridge between the government and the populace, that's where you thrive. That's talking about Voice of the Farmer. Talk to me about a success story where your platform directly influenced agriculture development or farmers' empowerment.
Yes, I remember there was a time an NGO wanted to do something in Badagry, and they just went online and checked for a media platform that is doing something around agriculture. So they reach out to us and say, Olumide, we need real farmers. Because they know we are working with these farmers. We need real farmers. We want to support them. And we were able to give them the database of farmers that we have worked with, because we don't just work with farmers individually alone. We work with them by association as well. We work with Laskafan, we work with PAN, we work with pig farmers, we work with rabbit farmers. So when any need come, now, okay, we want to support these people, they will come to us and say, because they know we are not just biased. We work with the real farmers, not political farmers or baby office farmers now. So when they reach out to us and say, okay, we want this support, I can make reference to IFA International. Is an NGO that is supporting farmers in tomato value chain. Then I even got a job from them as a community facilitator to train farmers about tomato production. So, they know I have access to these farmers. So they trained me on tomato production, and I was also retraining them on how to produce tomato in Badagry and for them to get good. So we have so many success stories like that we've been able to link people, farmers to support through our platforms.
Talk to me about the role you believe technology and innovation would play in transforming Nigeria's agricultural sector.
Yes, I would say there is a popular saying that I always say that farming is sweet, but technology makes it sweeter. Now, that is just it. In this world that we are, in this century that we are, if you want to enjoy agriculture, you must definitely adopt technology. Now, I want to make it clear that some of our farmers are getting the word technology wrong. Now, when you hear the word technology, what comes to their head is mechanization. And I can tell you that technology is beyond mechanization.
Talk to me about it.
Yes, our phone that we are using is a technology. Now, in the past, let me say 15, 20 years ago, or let me say 30 years ago, we don't have phone. Even if there is, some of the things that we can do on our phone now, we can't do it now. So our farmers are selling their produce on the phone. They are adopting technology, but some of them think, until I have mechanization, until I have tractor, until I have ROA, that is when I'm adopting technology. On your WhatsApp, I always tell my farmers that make use of a WhatsApp status. It's just as if you are advertising something. When you are consistent on it every now and then, everybody sees tomato on your WhatsApp status. Is this person selling tomato? Do you understand it? You have adopted technology in one way or the other. Also making use of so many things, irrigation system, all these things are technology. So technology is not optional now. It is mandatory for our farmers, but they need to just understand that technology adoption is also very important, and you don't need to do what we call copycat, because Madam Hay is doing irrigation on her system, or Publish is applying fertilizer on her farm, and you are now adopting the same method. And at that moment, you don't need that technology at the moment, because technology should be solving a problem, not adding to your problem. So now, if the technology you are adopting as a farmer is adding to your problem, that is not technology, it is even adding to your problem. So our farmers should know that technology is really helping them to solve a problem, and it's making food production more efficient, and making us attaining food security, because it is just very important. It is not optional. Everybody should look into how they can adopt technology as a farmer.
If there's anything I would say, LSADA, we can't take them off, especially when we talk about the extension officers. So do you have a robust relationship with them? And if you do, please let us know.
Yes, I would like to say a very big thank you to LSADA for giving us that platform. Anytime they have events, anytime they have anything they want to do, they will always reach out to Voice of the Farmer. I think there was an event they did lately about hydroponic system, where they train our farmers about soilless farming. I was one of the media platform that they invited. Even before the event, I've been amplifying it, and I have some farmers that attended that event through my platform because they saw it on my platform. So we have that cordial relationship with LSADA, because they
what about our extension officers?
Yes, I will talk about that. They are the teachers of farmers.
Yeah.
So, and we working as an advocate for farmers, we need to work with them, and our EA as well too. I work with almost all of them in every local government, in Badagry, in Nekpe, in Ikorodu. I know Mr. Adedida. I know so many of them that they are doing so well at any community that they have. So I want to say a very big thank you to LSADA for giving us a farmer that platform to do what we are supposed to do.
All right, let's talk about the areas you think the youth can leverage on. It's such a large value chain, and I feel we're not doing enough. Is it sensitization we're not doing enough, or what is it we're not getting right? Because I know a lot of people just want to the part of the value chain that looks juicy is the middleman part, and that's where a lot of people are actually running to. But then talk to me as somebody in the media space in that sector. You must have noticed one or two things that people are not leveraging on, but really, makes a whole lot of sense in terms of revenue generation.
Yes, thank you so much for that question, and I would love to say so many people are not looking into waste to wealth in agriculture. there are so many ways that we are generating as a farmer. And that is why these things are causing nuisance, or probably they are affecting our environment. But our youth need to sit down and see how can they turn this waste to wealth. Now, I spoke about coconut doing something what is doing around cocoa peat, coconut husk. I also have a guy in Badagry, Jamosko, is turning coconut shell to activated charcoal that he even exports, not even selling in Nigeria. That coconut shell that everybody will think this is just a waste, it turns them to something else. I have so many youth like that that are exploring the waste to wealth value chain. I think our youth need to, because this is where an area where you can start. I won't say you don't need capital. You need capital, but not huge capital as production. So because what we are looking at is like production. I want to also own a farm. I want to do this. I want to do that. Because before you own a farm in Lagos, you will know how much you buy land, even if you want to lease it. But if you are looking at the waste to wealth aspect of it, trust me, you are going to make a lot of money from it. Also, another thing is that even this also relates to waste to wealth. So many people are doing BSL farming now. That is black soldier flies.
Okay.
Trust me, you can start with zero or little capital. You know, it's the flies that help you to generate maggots that is even edible for human being. I've seen a situation whereby the Honorable Commissioner of Agriculture ate that maggot, like the fried one, because it is consumable, it is edible. So, but so many people are doing it now and they are making money from it, because livestock farmers need something that they can use to alternate feed, because it has high crude protein in it. So if you are youth listening to me out there, I want you to explore the aspect of waste to wealth. There's a lot of opportunity in that axis.
It sounds really interesting for the sake of for the sake of those who are listening. But the fact that you even mentioned the maggot, I'm sure somebody's listening out there that, am I supposed to handle that? But then for those who do not mind, it's such an interesting thing to try out. You can still be a part of the program this afternoon. We have a couple of minutes more on the program this afternoon. Put a call through or you send a text to us on 0809-9120-777. But then, before we let you go on the program, looking ahead now, what are your priorities for Voice of Farmer?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. I know what we started as just a passion now is turning into something that, as you said, is now an household name now. Household name, at the event last few days ago, I just keep hearing Voice of the Farmer, now so we can't do popularity. So that means people already know that yes, there is a brand called Voice of the Farmer. So our intention at the beginning, because we have short, mid, and long-term plan. We also want to be, if not the first agric radio station, at least we are going to be among the best in Nigeria that will be talking about agriculture, that will be giving voices to the farmers. So that is the long-term goal, and that is what we are working towards. And say, okay, let's say, how can we have a media platform where it's just going to be purely agriculture, where we are going to be amplifying what our farmers are doing? That is what we are looking for in the next 5 years, and I believe we are going to get there. So, and also we want to keep having access to more farmers. We have farmers beyond Lagos. Anywhere you have human beings, people are eating there, and we have farmers there. So that is our goal. We want to have access to so many farmers and see how we can keep telling their story and linking them to opportunities as well.
As much as we want Lagosians to leverage on opportunities being provided by the state government, are there still things you think the government can do in supporting farmers in Lagos?
Yes, Lagos State is doing a lot when it comes to supporting farmers. I need to say this, and I must say this because I've also been supported as well too. Last year we won an amount. I don't want to mention that for security reasons. From Lagos State Agriculture, Minister of Agriculture through Lagos State Agro-Innovation, that is Agriton 2.0, and now 3.0 is out now. So Lagos State government is doing so well compared to other southwestern states. So Lagos State government, what I would just advise is just that they should keep doing what they're doing. You see what they're building, the markets, the one that we have in Mushin, the one we have at Kitwere now that is ongoing now. So Lagos State is doing a lot. So, and I want to commend their effort, and I want to say they should just keep doing what they are doing. So, and our farmers are just so happy that yes, Lagos State government is supporting them. But we are Oliver Twist. We always want more from them. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I must really appreciate you for coming on the program this afternoon. And yes, this is where we get to wrap it up on today's edition of Lagos Farmer. We have been speaking with Garuba Afeez Olumide, a prominent Nigerian agricultural advocate and communicator. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, this program has been brought to you to the Lagos State Agricultural Development Authority, and I have done this with Abimbola Shakiro Majalagbe.
Thank you very much.
All right, this is where we drop the anchor. My name is Taiwo Barua. This program makes a return next week, Friday at 4:30. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, Lagos, Nigeria.